what the hell is in this thing?
Tonight, members of Congress working hours past midnight on a vote to continue a controversial spy program.
This is too damn important to do it this way.
Intel agencies use the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, better known as FISA, to sweep up massive amounts of information outside U.S. borders. A provision called Section 702 even allows them to collect communications from American citizens who may be speaking with someone overseas.
FISA is a critical national security tool.
Last year alone, the FBI used the program to collect intel on more than 7,000 U.S. citizens. The military and counterterrorism agencies say FISA is key to stopping national security threats.
It is an intelligence tool that my colleagues on both sides of the aisle know must be reauthorized to protect the citizens of the United States of America.
President Trump has been pressing Congress to extend the program before it expires, but a group of Democrats and Republicans are demanding new reforms, including requirements for warrants.
We got to have this stuff to go after bad guys. Yes, we know. We all agree. Thanks. Thanks for 101. We need to figure out how we're protecting American citizens in the process.
Unable to reach a long-term deal, House Speaker Mike Johnson instead had to settle for a 2-week extension, giving Congress more time to work through potential changes.
What we're trying to do is thread the needle of ensuring that we have this essential tool to keep Americans safe, but also safeguard our constitutional rights.
And first thing this morning, the Senate also gave the green light to the short-term extension of those controversial spy powers. In the meantime, over here on the House side of the Hill, Louis, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he believes his members are getting very close to a deal to do the long-term extension of the FISA spy powers that include new protections for Americans' privacy.
The president calling directly on Republican lawmakers to unite behind a clean extension of Section 702 of FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that law allowing U.S. intelligence agencies to monitor foreign targets. But lawmakers on both sides of the aisle here are hesitant right now to extend the law without some reforms like new guardrails on warrantless surveillance, as well as preventing government agencies from buying Americans' private data from third-party brokers.
The warrant proposal that we've made is consistent with Fourth Amendment jurisprudence. It provides, in my opinion, a really, really big hole if you've got an exigent circumstance, a national security issue. You just go. But when you're making that investigation of a U.S. person, you need a Fourth Amendment warrant, and that's where the debate is right now.
In a pretty much last-minute move here, House Speaker Mike Johnson canceled tonight's vote on a reauthorization as Republicans haggle over potential amendments. Officials warn intelligence collection could go dark if Congress fails to act.
Chairman Jordan, I welcome your testimony.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. The Judiciary Committee has conducted extensive oversight of the FISA program, and we've seen a huge change from just a few years ago when Congress last reauthorized Section 702 in the Reforming Intelligence and Securing America Act. That law contained 56 different reforms to the FISA law, including Title I and 702, which is up, as we all know, for reauthorization now. Included new training process, approval requirements before running a U.S. person query. There were audit requirements, including audit requirements and accountability measures for those who misuse the program, and enhanced reporting and transparency. In fact, we get some reports now on the number of U.S. persons who are searched in the database every quarter. These reporting and transparency requirements, such as allowing certain members of Congress and staff to attend foreign intelligence court proceedings. And the results are good. In 2021, before RISA was enacted, the FBI reported conducting nearly 3 million U.S. person queries. An audit of those queries found that 278,000 times they did not comply with the rules. I think this is important. Just a few years ago, because of what we were requesting the Inspector General to look at, we found that they were doing 3 million queries in 1 year, and 278,000 times in that respective year, they didn't follow the rules. They didn't follow their own rules. FBI agents ran queries on protesters, donors to congressional campaigns, public officials, journalists, colleagues, and ex-girlfriends. But today, the story is totally different. Totally different. In the year after we passed our law, so last year, the FBI reported conducting just 9,089 U.S. person queries, from 3 million to 9,000. Of those 9,000, 127 did not comply with the rules. And most of those 127 were clerical errors, typo errors, when they were going through the process. 2026 is not 2024. Thanks to RISA, improper queries have fallen from the recent high of 278,000 to 127. And due to the improved reporting required by the law, Congress has more insight than ever into the program's operation. Today, U.S. person queries conducted by the FBI are audited to ensure compliance with applicable requirements and standard. The results of those audits and other information are provided to Congress on an annual, semi-annual, and as I said earlier, even quarterly basis. We're also all aware of the state of the world right now. Multiple recent ISIS-inspired attacks here in the United States, military operations in both Venezuela and Iran. The 702 program is incredibly important for protecting our national security and advancing our interests abroad. In light of the progress that has been made and the threats we face, we think a temporary, short-term extension of the program makes sense now. That does not mean our job is over. The Judiciary Committee will continue to conduct aggressive oversight of FISA, just like we've done for the past 5 years, and we will continue to work on some things that we think will be helpful in the future. But again, 2026 is not 2024, and a short-term clean extension of the 702 part of FISA law is an acceptable outcome.
We explore something called FISA Section 702. Now, what is FISA Section 702? This is the business before the House of Representatives today and maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend. FISA Section 702 is something that was built in the 1990s and kind of blossomed after the Patriot Act passed in the early 2000s following 9/11. It allowed the federal government to go in and collect the metadata of who is talking to who. In other words, it doesn't tell me, what is being said on a phone call, but says, okay, Chad Pergram is talking to somebody in Sandusky, Ohio, or Chad Pergram is talking to somebody in Saudi Arabia. The whole idea here is so that they could better track the potential of terrorism. This is very controversial because opponents of FISA Section 702 say that there aren't warrants under the Fourth Amendment. You have to have a warrant to do some of these things. And it is in danger of being shut off here in just a couple of days. The deadline is Monday night going into Tuesday morning. So a couple of years ago, President Trump was completely opposed to the renewal of FISA Section 702. The reason is because that's what led to the Russia investigation in 2016 around the election. And he's pivoted in that position now. And with the war waging in Iran, there's a lot of concerns about the possibility of terrorism in the United States. This is augmented by the fact that the Department of Homeland Security is still without money going on 2 months now. And so lawmakers from both the left and the right, Republicans and Democrats, and including the president, are saying we need to renew this program. We cannot let it go dark. Well, they have to do that legislatively. They have to get this through the House. They have to get this through the Senate. And here's the problem. They just don't have the votes. As I always say, it is about the math.